A subway came off the tracks this morning. Greetings gamers and welcome back to Top 10 Gaming. I'm your host Connor Monroe and 7 is the best number, no contest. If you're new here or haven't yet, be sure you hit like and subscribe for daily gaming content and ring that bell to join the clan and level up. VR is fairly new technology when you think about it, but it has been becoming more mainstream. I recently got an Oculus Rift and love being able to experience the games I love in VR. But what VR games aren't meant to adore, but to scare? That's what we're exploring with today's list of the top 10 scary VR games. Before we roll the intro, however, I want to talk about another game I love. Today's sponsor, World of Warships. Man your battle stations! World of Warships is a free-to-play PC game that has the perfect mix of action and strategy. You can command a massive naval fleet featuring some of history's most iconic war vessels, and as you play you unlock new ships to help you dominate the oceans. The ships are extremely realistic, so realistic that when the weather changes, you need to switch up your strategy to remain in the battle. The steady stream of new missions, updates, and events is enough to ensure you'll never get sick of this game. And if you sign up using the code in the description, World of Warships is going to be nice enough to provide you with 250 doubloons, 3 days of free premium, the USS Charleston ship, which is a premium ship by the way, and 1 million credits. So if you want to join me along with 30 million others, make sure you use code BattleStations2020 to sign up and play World of Warships today. Now, roll the intro. At 10, Skyrim. While Skyrim is not a horror game per se, there are still giant spiders. And if you mod the game, it can technically become a horror game. But the base game still has plenty of things to find terrifying in virtual reality. A dragon? That's still scary every time I see one. Like I said earlier, giant spiders exist in the world, and that's not okay. Draugr are terrifying, and the crypts are especially spooky. The game is scary when experiencing it from the perspective of the character you're playing. Sure, you play it in first person normally, but literally experiencing it is something else entirely. If you have the ability to experience this in VR, I highly recommend it because it's haunting. I love Skyrim and I love being able to experience it in VR, but Skyrim is literally the only VR game that I have seen crash. Like, of course it has to be a Bethesda game, right? Of course it does! I also had it modded all to hell, but still, only Skyrim would be capable of something like that. Only Skyrim. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Gotta say that every time. And at 9, Dread Halls. Surviving in a dungeon is not an easy task. You are trapped inside a massive dungeon. Explore it, survive it, and try to find a way to escape, if you can. Your only weapons are stealth, courage, and a lantern you must keep lit using oil found around the dungeon. The game debuted in 2013 at the Oculus and Indiecade VR Jam and has been terrorizing people ever since. The game has you exploring dungeons without any way of defending yourself. All you have is a light that needs to be refilled on a regular basis. The dungeons are also procedurally generated, meaning it will be different every time, like a Minecraft world. Each one will be special. The fact that you have no way of defending yourself is probably one of the ways this game terrifies you, along with horrifying monsters and a terrifying atmosphere, especially in VR. I find things spooky when I can't really see that far ahead of me, and one game where I really experienced this is Dungeon Night VR, where you travel through a procedurally generated dungeon and kill monsters and stuff. But that game spooks me because you can only see like 7 feet ahead of you. But combine that with no defense and monsters whose only purpose is to kill you, and you'll have nothing other than brown pants. And maybe even brown shirts. Plus your light can go out and that's just no. And at 8, The Forest. If you know me at all, you would know that this was gonna be on the list. While the normal version of this game is honestly terrifying, VR is worse, even when the monsters are disabled. Combine a plane crash and your son being kidnapped with cannibalistic humanoid monsters and mutants with 6 arms and 5 legs, and you get The Forest. When you play the game in VR, you don't have anywhere near enough protection. The scariest feature is by far the caves. Sure, the night may be haunting, but the caves are even worse, with hanging bodies, dead passengers everywhere, and there is also bloody chunks all over the floor, not to mention dismembered limbs and dismembered bodies. And those mutants also reside in these caves and are sometimes stronger because of it. The atmosphere combined with the cries and screams of the cannibals is enough to make anyone run away screaming, and then hit a wall because they're in VR. And seeing one of those mutants towering over you or high in the air as they jump to strike will scare you so bad your parents will have to put you in the hospital. Multiplayer mode slightly reduces the scare factor, but when you're literally seeing it pressed onto your face, it's a little hard to fight back the fright all through the night. That's probably a Scooby-Doo title. Don't know why I said that, but whatever. And at 7, Arizona Sunshine. Built exclusively for virtual reality, Arizona Sunshine drops you in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, handle weapons with real-life movements, and freely explore a post-apocalyptic world. Put your survival skills to the test in VR and see if your zombie survival plan would really work. Use the environment and a variety of weapons to dispose of walking corpses, and put the undead back to rest in a more thrilling and exhilarating way than ever before. How long will you last? Will you be able to escape and get ready rescued. Is this basically Left 4 Dead in virtual reality? No, there aren't any witches or spitters or okay boomers, but some zombies run. In all honesty, any zombie shooter in VR is gonna be scary. Pavlov has a zombies mode, but Arizona Sunshine has more to it than just a knockoff COD Zombies. Arizona Sunshine is one of the most popular VR games for both single player and multiplayer gaming, with at least 4,500 players if you want to hop online and wreck some zombies. But be warned, zombies come from all sides, and if one pops up behind you, you're as dead as my aspirations to become a pop star like Hannah Montana. Anyone else remember Bucky, Kentucky? And at 6, Ritchies plank experience. You're on a plank, 80 stories high. Your knees are weak, your palms are sweaty, your body is shaking. You have a choice. Do you walk or do you freeze? This game is the only game that lets you clone a real world object into a virtual world for added immersion. You can turn a real wooden plank into the one that you experience in VR 80 stories high. Yeah, that's terrifying. And if that's not bad enough, there are additional game modes like rocket racing, firefighting, and missile mode. But there is also a nightmare mode. Sounds like a Five Nights at Freddy's collab. Engaging this mode will spawn plenty of giant spiders all over the elevator and one monster of a spider coming towards you. This game mode will kick you off the plank, then you will see a whole cluster of terrifying images, and you may get hit by a bus. And at 5, duck season. Anyone else want a psychopathic man in a dog costume to come out of Duck Hunt and kill your mom and you? No? Well, if that's not your forte, then stay away from Duck Season, a VR game that's basically Duck Hunt until your mom tells you to shoot the dog, which sets off a chain of events that leads to your mother dying, you getting trapped in the game, the dog getting killed outside your home, and a variety of other endings. Because this game has 7 of them, baby. While you can play through the game without shooting the dog, you know you want to do it. Plus, this game has like 6 other mini games inside it that you can play on your knockoff NES. So if you enjoy Duck Hunt or the murder of your family, be sure to get Duck Season, because that's what the kids are into now, right? Right? And at 4, Wilson's Heart. The only VR game I know of that's designed in black and white. If you've ever wanted to be in a silent film before Technicolor was created, then this game is for you. Take on the role of Robert Wilson, a middle-aged man who wakes up in an abandoned hospital wearing nothing but a hospital gown. When you try and figure out what happened and where you are, you encounter a murderous teddy bear. SCP-1048, anyone? As you continue, you will see more and more supernatural phenomena occur before your eyes, and soon you'll honestly be thinking that you belong in that hospital. But now I can hear you asking, why is it called Wilson's Heart? Well, I'm pretty sure you can figure that out. And if not, maybe you should play the game and see for yourself. And at 3, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. Yeah, you guys love Five Nights at Freddy's, so how could I not put this on the list? The game, undoubtedly inspired by MatPat's Game Lab episode, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted is literally a Five Nights game in VR. There are mini games and stuff you can do as well. There are also 13 tapes that, when collected, unleash a killer yellow bunny that you'll have to fight, but no matter what you do, he escapes. This also throws a wrench into the whole lore of the game, acknowledging that the games exist and saying they were created to ruin their reputation, but then revealing they hired Scott to make these games. Oh, and the game is also no longer only VR. There has been a flat version added after fans who didn't own VR started complaining that they weren't able to play their favorite series. But obviously this game has more of an effect in VR because holy goddamn, it's terrifying. If you'd like to see me play it on the channel, let me know below. Maybe we can get some others to play it as well instead of just me. Maybe it'll make it more interesting. If that's something you would like to see, let me know down below. I'm probably going to be cowering in fear the whole time. And at 2, Ghost Town Mind Ride and Shooting Gallery. This is something I'd probably be willing to play on the channel. Ghost Town Mind Ride and Shooting Gallery is what it says it is. A shooting gallery with a ride that takes you on a journey where you're busting up targets like Boo Blaster on Boo Hill or the Guardian of Wonder Mountain. Sorry, my Canadian is showing. Like Lost Kingdom Adventure or Men in Black Alien Attack if you can remember any of those. Just think Toy Story Midway Mania. But the game has a twist. This shooter appears to be actually haunted, with people popping out of nowhere and pickaxes being thrown at your face. You know that this is gonna be one wild ride. See what I did there? I'm sorry. But I'll have to leave everything up to you. If you want me to play it, let me know below. It's only $10 on Steam, so it's more likely that I play this rather than Five Nights unless you all really want it. Because money. Finally, in at number 1, Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul. Before you ask, no. Not playing it on the channel. Described as the scariest VR game ever by IGN, Paranormal Activity: The Lost Soul is a chilling first-person horror adventure where you take on the role of a paranormal investigator as you search a house with an original story. You're armed with, as they call it, a battery-hungry flashlight, meaning you need to get a new one. You start by exploring a quiet woodsy neighborhood before happening upon a house that you soon discover never lets you be alone. You keep discovering the clues about what's happening, unraveling the horrific mystery of what's gone down in this house. house, as you struggle to survive the terror that haunts you. If you are a fan of the Paranormal Activity franchise or want to ruin any pair of pants you have, you should try this game. It's a hefty $30 on Steam, but if this is what you're into, I'm sure it's worth the price. This game is also playable in a non-VR setup. There we have it, friends, the top 10 scary VR games. Do you know of any scary VR games that you would like to have seen on this list? Let me know in the comments and be sure to hit like if you enjoyed, subscribe for daily gaming content, and ring that bell to join the clan and level up. And a special thanks to World of Warships for sponsoring this video. Remember to use the code below when you sign up to get several legs up on the competition. Thank you all so much for watching. I have been and shall remain Connor Monroe, and I'll see you in another video.